friends home safely.
Do the right thing.
Visit ArriveAlive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
You're watching Rogers TV. This program is brought to you by Rogers Xfinity, connecting you to more of what you love. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of My River District. I'm here today with John and Aaron from The Play That Goes Wrong.
Wrong, absolutely.
What a wonderful promotion here. This is a show that's coming up at the Roxy this month, so March,
Yes,
right?
March 20th we open.
March 20th. Oh my gosh, you guys have been working on this now for a couple of months?
Yeah, we cast in October. We started some early rehearsals in November and then hit the ground running in December.
Okay.
So that.
John is actually our director, so the director. I'm not in the show. And so he's been working on this tirelessly with the team. And Aaron, who do you play in the show?
So I play Robert, is my actor character with the play within a play.
Sure.
In the play within the play, The Murder at Haversham Manor, I play Thomas Collymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to remember any of that.
That's okay.
I should have written that down. So yes, as you said, it is a play within a play. And it's all very satirical and hilarious and silly. And my understanding from what I've seen is that all of the characters who are also the actors in the internal play are a bit extra.
Yeah, that's one way to put it for sure. Yeah, we do a lot of, there's a lot of actor bits like that we as our actor characters will do sort of like meta, making comments as the play goes wrong.
Right.
And then within the play, our characters are also very caricature of murder mystery, which is sort of the genre of the show.
Okay.
So you have all of your the butler, the inspector, all those different characters. And there's so many levels of comedy. It's great.
That's amazing. So it's a comedy.
Yes.
Excellent. Tell me a little bit more about the show. So we know that it's a play within a play. Mm-hmm. So tell me how that kind of functions.
Well, so it's I guess it's the Cornley Dramatic Society, and the premise is that they are a small community theater that has had struggles in the past with putting a show together. They've always been lacking funding, but now they have funding and they had time and dedication, and now they can put on this wonderful, high-class murder mystery that sadly goes terribly wrong. So these are actors that try to act professional, try to cover up the mess that happens, and the more professional they try to act, the more ridiculous it gets.
Right.
So.
And by professional, you mean just very dramatic.
Very dramatic, very, very stoic at
Right.
times when clearly this is not a moment
I'm
to
an
be stoic.
actor.
Yes.
The serious actor, yeah. That's
Acting.
Yes.
That's fair. I feel like I should have tried out for this one. Anyways.
You would have fun. It's
I'm
been a
sure I
blast.
would have.
Yeah.
And so you've got a cast of 1, 2, 3, 4,
8.
5, 6, 7, 8.
8 people all together. And he does move, the one lying down. He does move.
He's not actually dead throughout the
He's
whole
not
thing.
actually dead.
He's
no.
just the guy playing dead in the other.
Spoilers.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Okay, we'll just leave it at that. Well, we're not going to put him in the poster if
No, we
he's
mean
dead.
in real life. He's
Yeah.
not just
Oh,
a
yes.
Weekend at Bernie's kind of situation.
Yeah, we didn't prop him like this. Yeah.
Although that itself could be hilarious.
I know. That would be interesting.
Just
Weekend of
carrying it around.
One extra level. Wow.
Put sunglasses on him like he's really
Right,
cool.
exactly. Sit him at a piano. Anyways, wonderful. Okay, so we are at the theater within a theater. You come in, you're actually a guest of the Roxy, you sit down, and where does the show begin?
Shortly after, there is an introduction. We have to do like the proper safety introduction,
Sure.
so that voice will be said, and the Indigenous acknowledgement, and then after that, we jump right into the show. So immediately right afterwards. So it does seem like maybe, won't give away too much, but it seems like some of the technical stuff is still happening, and then the show will start.
Okay,
If that
I get
makes
it.
sense. Yeah.
I mean, it really gives opportunity for it to be really fun.
It does, and there are elements where you'll question, is that part of the show or is that really happening? So
Right.
hopefully that's what we hope.
Yeah, that's the goal. Yeah.
I don't want to give away too much.
Yeah.
so.
Right. Well, it's just so deep, right? Knowing that it's this show within a show. So what is the problem that's happening? Is it the actor that's being the actor that's messing up, or is it the real person who's messing up? Because, those kinds of, it's just it sounds amazing.
There are some opportunities where an actor could forget their line, yell line, and then no one would notice. I don't think. I think it'd be fine.
Yeah.
So,
I should have tried out for this.
Yeah.
you can look at your script.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Just pull it
you'll
out,
be
be
like,
like,
oh,
hold
this is
on.
part of the show. Ha, ha, ha.
Go off, have a glass of wine. It's fine. Anyways, so when does the show open?
So Thursday, March 20th, and then we're Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday matinee.
Okay.
And then the following week we are Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Okay, so the one matinee.
The one matinee and
I
the
have
first
become a very big fan of the matinee.
Sunday. Being a mother. with
Being a
young
mother,
child? Yeah.
I don't like leaving the house in the winter after dark, so that's like noon.
Yes, fair enough. Yeah, in Owen Sound region, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I think the matinee's great.
Yeah, we just brought them back last year, maybe, I think. We had them for years, and they kind of went the way of the dodo. They weren't really very popular, so we decided to get rid of them, and we didn't, and that was about 12, 13 years ago.
Sure.
But then we realized people were asking for them again, and so and they've been stellar, they've been fantastic, so we'll keep running with a matinee until people grow bored of them, I guess.
I love that. And I mean, honestly, any night of the week when you go would be fabulous. You're in the middle of the River District. We've got the best
Exactly.
restaurants in town lining the
sure.
streets. You can hit a restaurant, then see the show, and then go to a place like the Rumpus Room or Heartwood or something like that afterwards, and you've got a whole evening.
I know, exactly, and it stretches right out, right? Like from the Roxy, it's any direction you go.
That's
there's
it.
somewhere to go.
It's literally centralized in the River District, and there's tons of parking.
Yep.
There's
back.
municipal parking behind the Roxy.
Yep.
There's municipal parking across from the Roxy. There's street parking. There's
Yep.
all these parking options, and there's accessible parking not far from the front door.
Exactly.
So, and there's also the loading and unloading zone in the front where people who have accessibility issues can be dropped off and picked up, correct?
Exactly, that's right, yeah.
So I think that's really important.
And it's a well-lit area, too. So.
Yes, and there are accessible entrances into the Roxy and into the theater itself.
And we have accessible seating
Yes.
For those areas, and we can adjust seating for that, and we have accessible washrooms as well.
Which I think is so important for people to know.
We even have accessible options to get on stage as well. Like through the ramp as well.
That's right.
So
Really?
like you can go through the ramp as soon as you go in the front doors. There's just like a very moderate, like not even a steep incline at all. So like it's great for accessibility like all the way across through the building as well.
I love that. I think that's really, really important. And for people to know as well, because it's a historical building, right? And so
Yes.
people don't necessarily expect for that to be something that people can get into because, regulations say they don't necessarily have to.
Yeah, it is harder to, sitting on a few committees, it is harder to adjust an old building like that.
Yes.
But in some ways, it's easy because the way it's built was built like a box, right?
Sure.
So it's like, architecturally, it's not unique in many
Right.
ways. In other ways, it is. So we were able to make some adjustments over the years, and there will probably be more coming down the pipe one day.
Oh, I'm sure.
As time and funding and fundraising happens. So
Funding and fundraising. My goodness, that's important for the Roxy and
Yeah.
Owen Sound Little Theater.
yeah.
I know that there's a ton of volunteer opportunities from people running the bar to ushers to all those kinds of things.
Yep.
And they're really important and integral for plays like The Play That Goes Wrong to even get off the ground.
Yes. Well, yeah, and also like people from all skills and trades and walks of life. For instance, the set is quite a complicated set.
Is it?
And we had quite a team of builders and designers. So there's an opportunity to design and to build, and costuming as well. Some of our people create costumes within props. We
Right.
create a lot of our props. So we rarely rent out equipment. We create within. And then on top of that, the acting and bartending and all of it. There's an opportunity, even if you don't want to act, there's opportunities to do other things, makeup, hair, all sorts of
Sure.
stuff. And we're always looking for new people.
I think that's really important for people to know as well.
Yeah.
It is a community theater. It is run by the community. It's
Absolutely.
mostly volunteer-based.
Yep.
And it's run by the board of directors, correct?
Yes, with the small full-time staff of about 4 people, I believe, dedicated staff
Yeah,
of 4
Tiffany, Emma,
people.
Lacey, right.
Yeah. So and so they work quite closely with the board, but the board is elected We have a new board elected every 2 years now.
Okay.
So instead of every 1 year, we decided to jump to every 2 years, but it's still a democratically elected board since 1961.
Right, and a lot of the funding is donation based.
Yes, we do have a lot of funding. Like we're very successful financially in the fact that we're very fiscally responsible, and we do bring in income from our shows and other spaces that we rent, which is smart. But we also do have sponsors, like our show, for instance, is sponsored by Poppy's Eatery, which is on 8th Street East.
Fantastic, in the River District.
Yeah, in the River District, lovely
Yeah,
little
yeah.
place. And Pappy's also they were sponsored my last show, Games of Foot. So that's how we brought them on board, and they've been a lovely sponsor. And then Midwestern Communication as well.
Perfect.
So that's just our local sponsors, and then there's also our season sponsors as well.
Right, and do you know some of the season sponsors?
Yes, Benedict Electric and Brandon Schott Realty. I was going to say Realty. Sorry, Trudy Moyes Realty, and the Little Family through Robank Investments. So
Fantastic,
yeah,
yeah.
wonderful. And they've
it
been
is.
long-term sponsors.
And it is a community theater.
Yes, absolutely.
And beyond, the play that goes wrong or the annual playbill, there's all sorts of shows, concerts, magic shows. What else have they had there? Some sort of dancing dogs of some sort. I'm not sure. I didn't get to see that one. but I wanted to.
Possibly, yeah. I don't know if I saw that one. Yeah, they had Colin Mockery from Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Has that already happened?
Yeah, it already
nuts.
did.
Yeah.
I know.
Big fan.
Yeah. I think it was Valentine's Day. Was it
Was it?
Valentine's
Something
Day?
like that, yeah.
Oh, I was
Yeah,
busy
so.
marrying or helping to marry off 12 couples, so
Oh, okay. Well, that as one does
yeah, I
on
guess.
Friday night. Yeah.
no big deal,
Nah, things happen. Nah, another couple wants to be married.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, love.
It was very romantic, very
sure.
romantic party where I just say yes event.
Yeah.
But that's just that shows how many different things are happening in the River District on any given night.
Exactly.
Valentine's Day, there were so many places that had a prefix meal, something romantic, that kind of thing, and of course there was a show at the Roxy.
Yeah, for sure.
And we're so happy that Tiffany is on board as the manager now.
Yes, she is.
I was like,
She's
what
the-
is her title?
Yeah,
Oh, no, I
she's the
should have
theater.
written it
Yeah,
down.
I know. She's the theater manager of the Roxy. Yeah.
Yes, she's been so active, so great
Yes.
at reaching out, having you guys all on here. I'm so thrilled talking about the play that goes wrong. And where can we find all this information?
Well, the Roxy Theater.ca.
Yep, that's
Roxy-
the main website.
Thank
yeah.
you.
Bring
Thank
out the
you.
phone?
Yeah. Yeah.
I wanted to say Roxy.ca. I'm like, no, it's the
RoxyTheater.ca.
RoxyTheater.ca.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, and when we come back, we're going to talk more about the play that goes wrong.
Great.
Cool.
After a night out with your friends, not having a plan for a safe ride home can leave you in a bad spot. You could end up riding in a police car, an ambulance, or a hearse. These unplanned modes of transportation can be a costly choice and do not take you home. Your plan could include a designated driver, a taxi, or public transit. Drink responsibly, choose your ride, and have a plan for a safe ride home.
Visit arrivealive.org to find out more.
It's closing time, and you stayed out longer than you planned. So now you can't drive, and the buses have stopped running. You could always call your girlfriend. Or maybe your roommate? What about your best friend? You could just dial 1-888-TAXI-GUY or use the Taxi Guy app. The call and the app are free, and they both connect you to a local cab company to bring you home safely. Visit arrivealive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive, drive sober.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
We're back at My River District. I'm sitting here with John and Aaron from the play that goes wrong, happening at the Owen Sound Little Theater, or with Owen Sound Little Theater at the Roxy Theater.
Yes.
So many titles and things.
I know.
Now, John, you are the director of the show,
Yes.
But you're also an actor.
Yes, I've been known to act in a few shows in the
Just
past.
Partake.
Just partake, just dabble.
Tell me about your history and how you kind of came to be with the Roxy Theater. And
Okay, well, I got into acting in high school. I took a theater arts course, and then I had, the department at the time was a strong department. The teachers were incredible at the time, and I'm sure many still are in many different schools. And so I got into that, fell in love with it, and I had a lot of fun, and I did as much as I could in high school, and then high school was done, and moved on and didn't think about it ever again for like 11 years. I came back, and an old theater arts teacher of mine, Mike Ray, said, get involved, come on, like I need someone for, get involved in Hamlet. I'm like, Shakespeare, I don't know. He said, come on, just try out. And I fell in love with it. And I got to know other theater arts teachers I had, Brad O'Connor, Bill Murphy, and then I got to see a bunch of other people that I hadn't seen in a while coming back to Owen Sound. I was 31 at the time. And so it was a community right away. So it was it was a nice way to reintroduce myself to home, after coming back home for so long. And then I fell in love with acting again. And I got into more shows and read more scripts. And then I'm like, maybe I'd like to try directing. So I shadowed Bill Murphy. He was directing a murder mystery, and I shadowed him. And then I directed what we do. We do a series of one acts, so just small plays for people that are interested in directing to learn under mentors and masters. I learned under Audrey Cheadle, and then after that, I did all right that I was able to put in a bid to direct a show. And so I put in the Mousetrap, Agatha Christie's The Mousetrap, and they thought, yeah, this could work. So they let me do it, and that was in 2015. And so I did that, and that was good, and I had a blast. And then I did one in 2023, I have to think now. Yeah, Games Afoot, and that was a murder mystery comedy. Okay. And then now I'm doing The Play That Goes Wrong, which is a murder mystery farce comedy. So so I have a theme. I go from murder mystery to murder mystery comedy to murder mystery farce. So
do you just get comedy next time?
I don't know. I don't know what I do next. I am thinking of throwing everyone for a loop and doing something incredibly serious.
Ooh,
but I don't
something
know.
Scary.
I know, right?
I like it.
Yeah, so we'll see.
No pressure.
No, not at all.
I make an excellent villain, just putting it out there.
Okay, I'll think about that. You're hired.
Thanks. And Aaron, yourself, how did you come to be working with Owen Sound Little Theater?
Yeah, so I'm from here. So I grew up. I did my musical theater course in high school, West Hill. So I did Wizard of Oz there, and that was my first experience at the Roxy Theater, which we did like the partnership thing. So I went on as the Cowardly Lion in Wizard of Oz, and that was like my first full performance experience. I'd like to sing before that and was in choir for like a year. But that was like a very cool experience, my first one. And then from there I was like, I put acting away for a bit, much like John. I went away to school. I went to University of Waterloo for my bachelor's degree. And then while I was there, in my final 3 years, I got swept up in like college a cappella group.
I'm sorry. I'm picturing it. It's a whole thing.
Hey.
I've got Pitch Perfect like in my brain right now.
So in Pitch Perfect, the competition in Pitch Perfect is the International Championship of Collegiate Acapella, which we competed in multiple years.
That's outstanding.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
everyone clowns on me for bringing this up, but this really is my origin story.
I didn't know that.
Do you just walk around with a pitch pipe?
Yes. Yeah, I have one at home right now.
And you just like break out? Anywhere in the quad?
I was the musical director for 1 year. I was assistant director. I did the social coordinator, so I would like plan social events for people, and then I also helped to coordinate like gig work. So around Kitchener-Waterloo, we would do these various like street festivals. We would do busking every few months at St. Jacob's. So it was literally just whip out a pitch pipe, play the opening note, and then we would bust out pop and musical theater songs, and we'd do rock, we did rap, we did all kinds of genres.
I will be asking you to rap after this.
Hey, you know what? That is also something people clown on me for. I was the rapper in the group for a long time. But no, that was sort of my reaffirmation that I loved performing for people. And so from there, in my final year of school, I was like, you know what? Let's just apply to theater school. So I applied to Humber College, got in, went to Toronto for 3 years, and then COVID hit in 2020. So that was tough for live theater. And then I got into voice acting, and I did that professionally for a couple years. I'm still trying to work on that at home. But yeah, that was sort of my trajectory. I got into public singing, I guess, with a bunch of, I would teach like, math students how to hold a note and then how to like come out of their shell.
Okay.
So I did like the unauditioned group where anyone could join. So I met a whole bunch of people through that. And then I did the like competitive like audition groups as well. But yeah, that was truly my villain origin story was collegiate a cappella.
I'm so happy that you're here today and that I got to hear that.
Yeah. So am I.
You're right. So yeah, once the cameras turn off, I will be asking you to perform a rap for us, and you're not allowed to leave until you do that.
Okay, all right. Held hostage, great.
We'll have our phones on. Don't worry about it.
Good.
Held hostage, that's going to be part of the murder mystery, which then John will direct as a comedy. Perfect. The trajectory
Locally
continues.
written comedy.
Yeah.
So how did you find yourself coming back to OSLT then?
Yeah, I like when COVID hit, I had my last year of theater school online, and
How
then
would
while
that
I
even
was
work?
sorry,
How would that even work?
it was a lot of Zoom. A
Ish.
lot of Zoom. It was interesting. A lot of people hated it, which I understand. The energy of like being in person with people is like the best part of live theater. Audience both and your castmates on stage and your crew members behind stage. But it was a lot of like experimental like camera work. So like people would use their webcams in like funky ways, which was cool, but not cool for a whole year of a program you're paying for.
Sure, yeah.
But then after with COVID, I ended up moving back home for the last like 6 months of my program. So I did it from my bedroom, which I like outfitted with like black sheets to look like a theater black box room. But then from there, I was working at Starbucks actually here in town. And this is a complete 180. I was working at Starbucks here. And then my supervisor at the time is Grace McRae, who works with the OSLT a lot and does like vocal lessons and stuff in the city. And so she encouraged me to audition for last year's musical, The Prom, which was this season, but last calendar year. And then she encouraged me to come out and audition. And then she also invited me to be her assistant for the Act 2 classes or Act 1, Act 2 classes that we run. So I helped to teach the magic of theater to children, which is cool. And so yeah, she just like brought me into the ecosystem, and then kind of like what John said was like it's like instant community, which was cool. Like I grew up here and like I had friends obviously, but then when I left and came back, it was like boom, you have even more friends. And I know I'm rambling, but like
I love it.
what we talked about before was how like theater brings people together. And I remember there was a quote from one of the bartenders. She was a choreographer, Paula.
Yes.
Talked to me at one of the socials for The Prom, and she said the reason that she got into theater was to hang out with adults and go to parties. And I was like, that's great. Like it's just instant community.
Yeah.
And, like that's perfect.
Yeah, you get to know your like fellow actors and the like crew and everything like that at like a kind of a deeper level.
Yeah.
You're not just regular colleagues that come and go. You really have to trust each other and work with each other and play off of each other and all those kinds of things. So it's definitely that sense of community, sense of family, that kind of thing.
And at the end of each show, it truly is an emotional celebration. Like everyone's pretty tight knit. So, and even in this winter, this show has definitely helped us just get out of the house.
Yeah, we just talked about that. Yeah.
Bloody hell. Yeah, it was crazy. So.
No kidding. Okay, so is there anything else that we can expect from the play that goes wrong that people need to be prepared for?
There'll be some gunshot sounds, a few things like that. There'll be some loud sounds. There will be, what else? There might be, I don't know, anything that we need to.
I guess depictions of violence would be a thing.
Depictions of violence. There would be depictions of violence. People aren't really getting hurt. Fingers crossed.
Sure. So if this was on TV, it'd be like M for mature.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
PG-13.
There's no swearing, though, or anything overtly sexual or anything like that. But there is some, perceived violence and stuff like that. So that's definitely.
So take a kid or don't take a kid?
I think you can take a kid.
I think you can take a kid, yeah.
13-year-old?
Yeah, for sure. There's no swearing, there's not even a real kiss, but it's a implication of a kiss that was supposed to happen.
Yeah, that never did.
Otherwise, yeah, I guess violence and gunshot sounds, yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be the warnings anyway. Otherwise, expect a good laugh, I think. I think you'll really enjoy it. I think people will like it. I think after this winter, we definitely need it. But it is nice just to go and sit back and just guffaw. There's no deeper meaning to the show at all.
Love
it's
that.
not, yeah, exactly. It's just go there and have fun. Don't think, just enjoy. So
I love that so much. So remind myself and the audience when it opens.
Right, March 20th, Thursday, March 20th.
Thursday, March 20th, and then the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is the matinee.
Yep.
And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the following week.
Yes.
Get your tickets at
roxytheater.ca.
Yes. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you my very last question. That is very, very important. And I want you guys to, just let me know all the details. Why do you, as locals, love it here?
Yeah, it's funny. It's interesting. I guess it's always a sense of community, right? Like everyone, you just know. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Talking about home, I guess everything I need is here. Like, it's not too big and it's not too small. There's enough here. And everything just outside of town, if you want to go camping, you want to go to the beach or anything like that, that's all around. I'm not much of a winter sports person.
No,
but if I was, I'd be in paradise. But in summer, I love it. And there's space. You can be around people. It's a city. You can be around people, and you can go downtown. You can go to cafes and restaurants and see people. At the same time, there's Harrison Park and other open spaces where you just feel there's a bit of room. I don't know how to put it otherwise. It's just you have the best of both worlds.
No, I get it. There's room to breathe.
There's room to breathe.
Yeah, you're not constantly like shoulder to shoulder with somebody else and on like the subway and things.
Exactly.
You've lived in Toronto, you get it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, streetcar at like 9 p.m. Oh God.
Oh, yeah. Yes. No, I know. I lived in the biggest city I lived in was London, Ontario. Yes. So I don't know, but I've heard great things about living in Toronto. Bloody hell.
There's a lot of great things about living in Toronto.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But I chose to come back here
I
for those reasons.
Exactly.
The sense of community, access to whatever you need.
Yeah.
But basically the sense of community with room to breathe.
Yeah, like I find I can spark up conversations with strangers in town. And most of the time it works out all right.
Right,
So,
or you walk into my studio and I'm like, hey, we were in improv together.
Yeah, it's like, oh, were we? Oh goodness, hi. We were. Oh my gosh.
10 years ago or whatever. Like once you're in theater, you're all interconnected.
You can say to
in
me,
some
I know your street. I've seen your door. It's like
I didn't say that. It wasn't weird. I may drive past his house on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Okay, and Aaron, yourself, why do you as a local love it here?
Yeah, it's not only the sense of community for me, but having grown up here and then coming back here, it's you have not only room to breathe, you have room to grow as a person. So coming from high school, you knew all these people. I find like across the different high schools, you end up like knowing a couple people at each school, people that they know, maybe mutual friends and stuff. But then as you grow up here, and then even when you come back, you manage to meet somehow the other half of the city that you didn't know. Like it's just such a tight-knit community that, like you said, you can strike up a conversation with a stranger and you'll find something in common.
Absolutely.
There's something to do for everybody here. And if there isn't, then you can make it.
Right.
You can create your own experience here in Owen Sound that I find is a different scope in a bigger city. But like through the River District, like there's so much interconnectedness amongst everything down there that like you can go to the Roxy, you can go to a restaurant and see people that just went to see the same show as you. And you can like turn around at your table and have a conversation with people that you have no idea you've never met before. But because of your experiences in the River District and in Owen Sound, you have that sense of found family almost instantly. Yeah.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. And I feel like now I've found my people. This is it. This is the same kind of feeling that I get about the city. So you can have my show and I'll just see myself out.
Okay, well, all the best. Good luck.
I want to present you with your official Locals Love It Here River District badges of
Thank
honor.
you.
Oh, we get stuff.
You get stuff.
Incredible.
It's a button. Please wear it with pride. You exemplify why locals love it here and how locals love it here. I loved you talking about the opportunity that is here for anybody who wants to make opportunity for themselves.
Don't stop us.
So just before we run out of time, you can get tickets to The Play That Goes Wrong starting on March 20th at
roxytheater.ca.
And the play runs until
the last day is.
Check out the shirt.
Sorry, actually,
We
is it
brought
on there?
notes.
Did we?
It's on there.
Yeah, the
It
second
runs for
weekend.
2 weekends.
It runs for 2 weekends. I can't think. March 29th?
29th sounds
March
right.
29th is the
29th
last
sounds
day.
Ish.
And ish. And we have to thank our sponsors again, Poppy's Eatery and Midwestern Communications. It's local businesses that really keep us afloat as well, like really help us out.
Thank you both for coming on, and I look forward to seeing The Play That Goes Wrong.
Thanks. We look forward to having you.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
When I was diagnosed with Guillain-Barré syndrome, I was deteriorating in front of everybody.
All my life I lived with sickle cell. I went through a tragic crisis that put me in a coma for 3 weeks. While I was in there, I received a lot of blood to put me in a healthier state.
I was given the plasma then through IVIG. Even though that happened so long ago, it still has a massive impact on me today.
Thanks to donors, I can live another life.
Because of you, I will be seeing my grandchild.
Are you a passionate content creator ready to expand your audience reach? Do you have unique stories, captivating hobbies, or special interests that deserve a spotlight? Rogers TV is here to amplify your voice within the community. We offer you the platform to broadcast your content to a wider audience. And the best part, it's completely free. Don't miss this opportunity to share your vision and engage with viewers. Find out how Rogers TV can transform your content journey today.